Today we are in Bampton in the Lake District National Park. It seems to be such a popular location. Every property that we've taken on here is sold incredibly quickly and has had multiple viewers, which has been fantastic. Now I'm grinning from ear to ear because today not only do we get to sell a fantastic house in Bampton, we get to sell this unbelievable house with barns, with 6 acres of land, with the most fantastic backdrop of mountains surrounding it in every direction. What an absolutely unbelievable place. Now I'm going to walk up to the property and show you just a little bit of the mountain views properly before actually take you around to see the house. Now the house is steeped in history, built in around 1700. It's got a fantastic vibe about it. It's got a really beautiful facade. Having 6 acres of land and being secure in its own area with these beautiful stone walls all around means that it's got a real presence. Now to the rear of the property, there's so much to show you. This is going to be a long video, but to the rear of the property we've got a barn which has been partially converted, which is currently being used for storage at the moment, but it's got all that potential to be able to look at maybe a work-live environment, or maybe potentially using it for fantastic storage. Could be the most awesome man/woman cave you could ever imagine, but it has all of the potential in the world. Now just as I turn around, as I get to the top of this little section here, we are not just in the mountains a little bit, we are right standing in the middle of them. And with such good access back to Bampton, towards the M6 and Penrith, the location that this unbelievable property is set in is out of this world. So what I'm going to do now, instead of going on forever on this, which I will, and I'm going to be grinning from ear to ear even when I've turned the camera around, I'll turn the camera around, walk you around the property, walk you around the plot, and hopefully you like it. Actually, it's impossible not to like it, so I'll turn around and show you what we've got. Okay, so starting from outside, as I said, there's those spectacular mountain views. It's a little bit dark today, or darker today, but it really accentuates all the mountains that surround us. And if you want a place to be able to relax, enjoy the mountains, enjoy the wildlife, and have a little bit of a standalone. I mean, there's only one farm up from here, and it's on, as you can see there, it's on a bit of a dirt track. So it's nothing's particularly close to you at all, apart from the village, which has got a nice pub in it. It's got all of the things that you could need, and again, as I say, those great transport links through to Askham, Penrith, etc, etc. So starting here, as we approach the property, you can see it's just beautiful. It's an absolute picture postcard. Tiny little bit of wind today, but as you can see, some nice blue sky behind. This section here is recently converted into a separate annex, but it is completely attached to the existing property, so it's quite a lot of space throughout. If we look at the front here, all of this field here is comes with the property, and it's really good land. I mean, quite a lot of the land up here can be a little bit fell land and a little bit rough, but this is nice. The grass looks lush, so if you're looking to have a few ponies or something like that, then it will fit really well. As you can see with the date stone above the door, it says 1714, so there's definitely a bit of history that goes with this. But what a spectacular outlook. It's a bit hazy, but you can see there in the distance we've got the Pennine Fells. So in the front here, I won't open it up, but inside there's it's all been decked out and boarded in bits, and a perfectly usable office space, which is absolutely lovely. We'll go into the rear of the property, but I'm just going to show you a little bit more externally first. So as we come around the back, you start to see how much of this property there really is. Now we've got this fantastic barn, which I'll give you a bit of a glimpse in a moment after we finish the property. But when you look at the back, you can see there's quite a lot of size, and it's been done beautifully. Everything has been done to a very exacting standard. So just to carry on with the outside space, we've got all of this lovely little wooded area. How pretty is that? and all surrounded by stone walls. As we come to the back here, we've got these rather beautiful, I think they're called Valais blacknose sheep in the back of the field here. What a lovely sight. But you've got the fields all the way around here to the back, and as I say, there's around about 6 acres in total. Now to the rear of the barn over there, you can see there's a little storage area, but I'll take you across so I can show you. Actually, I'll take you up this way. I'll take you to be able to show the fantastic barns that they've built to the rear. If you're thinking about something for horses, you can see the land is pretty flat, so it's not. It will suit most small holders. It will suit most pony owners that are looking to be able to have great grazing. And as you can see in the distance over here, we've got views of the nice fields. So there are 3 entrances in. We've got one farm entrance over here. There's an entrance where if you wanted to have a holiday let or an independent annex, they can have their own independent parking as well. And then there's a driveway to the front to be able to take you round to abundance of parking to the rear. But if you look at this, I mean, this is some posh stabling. It's got roller shutters that bring down to be able to avoid the weather. These guys obviously sheep farm, but if you were looking to be able to have some horses or something equestrian, this facility is absolutely beautiful, and it's been really, really well thought out when it was done. So it's quite a posh little small holding, and there's just one other piece of land which is here, which backs on that fantastic barn, which I'll give you a brief glimpse of later. Okay, so let's wander around now and have a proper look at the house and the barns. And we've been blessed. The sun has come out, the black sky went that was there for 5 minutes, and we can really take in the wonderful scenery that's all around us. So the main house itself has got quite a substantial amount of bedrooms and bathrooms. The accommodation, because of the age of the building, has got that real period vibe to it. There's some panelling and all sorts of other parts in here which I find quite exciting, being a bit of a purist. And I'm so pleased that, as with many other houses that we go to, that all of the character has not been lost from here. In actual fact, I think they've probably reinstated more than has ever been lost. Simple things to look at. If you look externally, everything is in really good order. I mean, it's been well decorated, well maintained, so there is nothing for somebody to come in and do. Now, I'll come in the rear entrance, so we'll come into the kitchen, and I'll give you a view back from here. Now, we've got a 4-oven Aga. It's a lovely, contemporary, yet traditional kitchen. The colour is very in fashion at the moment. We've got some nice beams on the ceiling. And as I always say, what kitchen in a country house is complete without a lovely 4-oven Aga? But they've even thought about having an induction hob to the side there, just for that kind of more speedy cooking necessity. As we come up these steps, we have a lovely cloakroom and shower room. So when the kids come in and kick their muddy shoes off, walk over these sandstone flags, you've got somewhere out of the way that you can let them go in and get a shower and stuff after going out and running around in the fields. But what a fantastic kitchen. Now the staircase splits and goes in various directions, and we'll show you that in just a moment. But walking into the main sitting room, it really is stunning. You can feel the age in here from things like the fantastic fireplace. We've got sash windows, but it's as you noted outside, it was fairly breezy. But as you can see with things like new sash cords, it looks as if everything's been refurbished. So nice and tight, and with those spectacular views, you wouldn't want to hide it in any way, shape or form. Now we've got nice, looks like porcelain tiled floor. The beamwork is lovely, and you can see the hand chisel marks on there, which is fabulous. And it comes up to, I mentioned a minute ago, I mean, there's the front door, and I'll show you back out of that in just a moment. And that is obviously the view out of the front, as we've seen a moment ago. But I was talking about these things like this wood panelling. I mean, this wood panelling here is fantastic. I know it's sadly nostalgic of me, but if only the room could talk so that you could actually relay all of the history that comes with it. But being built in 1714, and that shows again from this wonderful spice cupboard, this style of build is lovely. I'm not a very tall guy, but I think if you were 6 foot tall, you would avoid all of these beams. So it's not, they're not particularly low ceilings. Things like these stone feature fireplaces really give that kind of unctuous vibe to the house. Now I'm going to take you into the recently converted annex, and you can see that from this handmade oak door. And as we lead through into this space, we've got a bit of a change of vibe. I mean, it is still an old building, but it's been done to a very exacting standard. I mean, and that will show from things such as when the rooms were plastered, putting the curve into these to be able to give that more period vibe to it. But with the furnishings and how things have been set out, this room is absolutely beautiful and lends itself very well to a traditional furnishing, and actually with the slightly contemporary furnishing that these guys have put in. But I think if we're talking about an annex or a holiday let, I think this one's pretty well up there. We walk up here into the kitchen, and that kitchen has got that really nice contemporary feel to it. There's a bit of a fleck in this stone work surface. Induction hob, all of the appliances are Bosch. So you've got a great fit and finish in here. Small loo, but perfectly functional, which is great if you wanted to have it as a separate accommodation. So while we're this side of the house, I'll walk you upstairs, give you a bit of a viewing up here. Nice thing, that little Velux window in there, give that light into the landing. Up here we have two nice, generous, vaulted double bedroom with that huge glass window that looks out over the rear courtyard and over towards the barn. Now, both the bedrooms here come en suite. We've got a lovely shower cubicle, nice plain white suite, very nice. But even the small things, I know it's probably very sad and it's only me that looks at them, but even little things like this, bits of exposed stone, just give character, just shows that there was attention to detail and it was well thought through when it was converted. We've got another decent double bedroom, and again that use of light with a Velux which is flooding this room with light. There's a couple of steps over there. I always thought they went somewhere, but they don't. But they go up to a lovely cupboard over here and a nice feature window, really finishing things off in here. Now, the bathroom or shower room in here has got a lovely shower in this space. It's a good usable ensuite space, and a tiny little window with a kind of a little arrow slit that looks out of there and over that beautiful view. Okay, so that gives us two of the bedrooms, coupled with two shower rooms and this great living space. Now, because everything is interconnected, you could quite easily just have everything as one house. That means you've got lots of bedrooms, lots of bathrooms. But as far as an annex goes, or a holiday let, as a holiday let, that would bring in a significant sum, especially where it's positioned and being in the Lake District National Park. But if you were looking more towards an annex or a family member living with you, that gives plenty of space and light for that. Look at this door. I mean, how absolutely stunning is that? I know my video is not going to do it justice, but that on its own is an incredible piece of history, and you can see how that's been constructed. Now, in a lovely old house, you need to have a pantry. There needs to be a cellar, and this actually fits that perfectly. You got a bit of window and ventilation at the end there, but it's a nice cool room and perfect for being able to keep a decent wine collection, a couple of extra fridges, that sort of thing. And I'm sad, I know, but I'm going to go back to this door again. Look at that. I mean, the age that is in that, and it shows beautiful that it's been retained and not replaced with something not fitting that type of this type of property. But again, beautiful sitting room space, oak paneling, lots of things that just make this property quite exciting. So going up the stairs, we've got another roof light up here, coming into the main family bathroom. Lovely grey tiles. It's got a nice contemporary feel to it. Nice white suite, and a nice light space having the dual aspect windows. We enter into this again large double bedroom. There's another roof light, but again another window. But a good sized double bedroom with really, in essence, its own bathroom. So, having a look in this is the smallest bedroom. It is a single, and you have to be mindful of your head. But I think if I was a kid and that was my guest room, that would be absolutely fantastic. And I know my children would definitely be in there and picking that room out if they were here and living here. So I'll take you over to the window in a moment just to be able to show you the view. But the room here is a really generous size. It's a good double, it's a big bed, and look at the views that you can wake up with every single day. Wow. So just having a looking here, we have another ensuite with sink, plain white suite, and a lovely shower cubicle. There is no shortage of bathrooms in this place. So coming into this next room, currently being used as a dressing room, and it's again a nice generous double with fantastic views out over towards the Pennines. And last but not least, we have actually probably about my favourite room in the house. When you look at this, you've got it's got a nice vibe to it. It feels clean and crisp, and I could imagine waking up here, the views. You've got this great big mantle here, which just got something about it. It's very, very nice. And then that is complete with a really nice sized shower and shower room. And those views out, again, you're going to get sick and tired of seeing them, but I assure you, if you bought this house, you wouldn't. So that does complete our tour of the house, but it doesn't complete the tour of the entire steading, I think is the best way to put it. So we've got a fantastic house, lots of bedrooms, lots of utility space. It's got a great vibe to it, whether you want holiday let, whether you want an annex, whether you want something indifferent to that. You've got loads of land, which is fantastic, and all of that small holding potential and all of that equestrian potential. Outside, there's another utility room which houses the boiler and obviously the pressurized cylinder, making this as energy efficient as it can be. So that's quite a nice, sweet, usable space externally. But then we've got this unbelievable barn space. So when you look at the styling of the barn, it's architecturally very, very interesting. You've got a lovely slate roof which looks in excellent condition, as does the ridges. I haven't done an independent building survey, but having viewed houses for 20 years, I'm usually pretty adept at seeing what's working. Underside here, we've got a lovely storage area, obviously being used for logs and would be a great workshop. There's some steps which lead up into another great usable space that's got the potential for conversion. But directly behind here, there's, as you can see, it's been plasterboarded out and everything else. There's the workshop of the people that are currently living here. And that also could be extended into to be able to make this area bigger. Now, if you were looking at making this into another property is unlikely, but an annex or something like that, or maybe even a holiday let, this would all be subject to planning consents. It doesn't have the planning consents for it because it's not being used as such, but it has the potential to obtain it. In here, there's a huge amount of space in here as well, all with the potential for conversion or actually just for storage. Okay, so last but by all means not least, we get to come into this building. Now it's currently being used for storage by the current owners. I'll give you a very quick glance, but if you look at the crook beams in the ceiling and how this has been kind of stabilized and made right, and then when you look at that fantastic space, the wonderful amount of area that you've got here that you can use, but mainly focusing on the fact that the stabilization and looking after the beams and making sure that everything is done so that it could be looked at for conversion in the future is absolutely stunning. And then when we quickly look in here, there's another section, and that's the back wall that we were looking at a moment ago, which could merge all of this together. But what an unbelievable space. So, there we go. Now, I think we're up to about 20 minutes so far. It's a bit the longest video I've ever done, but I think, to be fair with you, it needs it. There is so much here. There is so much space. The land is fantastic. The views are breathtaking. The standard of conversion and the standard of finish throughout is exemplary. But when will you ever get a property this high up the mountains with fantastic mountain views, with an outlook like this that you can wake up to every single day, and a property that literally is a picture postcard? If you're interested in knowing any more about this property or booking a viewing, please do give us a call on 01768 881111, and we would be more than delighted to be able to show you around this fantastic property. Thank you.